NFL free agency has been a whirlwind this week with a ton of big names on the move, but one signing by the San Francisco 49ers is sneaking under the radar.
Very, very sneaky, sir.
You asked for it and we delivered. It's Fan Friday, and you, the fans, chose today's topic for Point of View. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know who you think was a sneaky good free agent signing. I think the 49ers got an absolute steal by signing defensive end Leonard Floyd to a 2-year, $20 million deal, but it didn't make headlines across the league, and that's fair to a certain point. Danielle Hunter went to the Texans, Bryce Huff to the Eagles, Brian Burns to the Giants, and Josh Allen stayed put. All of those names are bigger than Floyd's, but he'll be just as impactful, if not more, than the rest of them. Floyd was the 9th overall pick in 2016 and played his first 4 seasons with the Chicago Bears, but his production didn't match the eye test until he joined the LA Rams in 2020 with Brandon Staley as the defensive coordinator. Since that first season with the Rams, Floyd has collected 39.5 sacks and 37 tackles for loss in 4 years. But it's more than just the eye-popping stats for the Niners. Floyd gets to rejoin Staley in the Bay, though he'll be the assistant head coach rather than the DC. Still, I'd expect Staley to have a lot of influence on the defensive side of the ball. That would be how you get the most out of Floyd. And he's a total workhorse. Though he hasn't played all 3 downs in recent years and he'll be 32 years old entering the next season, he hasn't missed a game since 2017. Yet he's still producing those huge sack numbers and making an impact week in and week out. Just look at this rush against 3-time All-Pro tackle Joe Thuney. That's a big boy that Floyd treats like a toddler on the way to a sack. Now imagine that across from Nick Bosa. Oh boy. Okay, the point has been made that he's a really good player, but the other part of the signing that makes this sneakily the best of the offseason is just how much the 49ers needed to sign someone like him. Before we get to that, here are the results of this week's poll question. Thanks to everybody who participated. Back to it. DN Chase Young was added in the middle of last season to play opposite of Bosa, but it was just a rental, and he's a free agent, likely out the door. And Keelan Ferrell and Randy Gregory weren't every down ends, but they still played over a third of the defensive snaps and won't return. And even the interior defensive line is losing big pieces. Eric Armstead was released, Javon Kinlaw is now a Jet, and Kevin Givens is an unrestricted free agent, so who knows who'll be on the team come week 1. Floyd can help fill that gap too. Not that he'll line up inside by any means, but he can blow up a run play as he did in these 2 plays against the Seahawks. On this one, Floyd gets a free rush and doesn't waste time flowing to the back across the line of scrimmage. Sure, he was unblocked, but later that same game, Floyd fights through a block to extend the runner to the outside and bulldozes the back for a big loss. So with all of the players leaving the Niners' defensive line, there's solace in knowing someone like Floyd will be around to make up for at least some of it. And he's not just about on-field production either. Floyd has developed into a quiet leader the last few seasons and is a great resource for young players, which the Niners will likely have a few of on the defensive line following the draft. Here's 2020 draft pick and former teammate Terrell Lewis talking about his relationship with the veteran.
I think we learn a lot from each other I think we always kind of like bounce off knowledge from each other. Like I may learn something from Flo where he like teach me somewhere. It's like, Flo's a very like humble, kind of quiet guy, but like he'll say subtle things where it's like, okay, like you're right, like maybe I should think like look at certain things like that, like give me a different type of perspective.
So the Niners have clearly added a guy who can be a game changer in multiple ways. And they need as many players like that if they want to finally get over the hump and win a Super Bowl. San Fran has gone to at least the NFC Championship game in 4 of the last 5 seasons, and the defense ranked 1st, 3rd, 8th, and 9th in points allowed in each of those seasons. The one season they didn't make the playoffs in that stretch, they were 17th. While the offense has weapons, the defense makes them perennial contenders, and players like Leonard Floyd keep them at that standard. That's why he's the best under-the-radar signing this offseason. Someone that Niners fans are familiar with is Jim Harbaugh, who just returned to the NFL as a head coach for the LA Chargers. For more on him, be sure to check out our recent Point of View. Enjoy the weekend, and we hope to find you here again next week.